Check it out. Let me tell you one.
Freedom for all.
What is up, my MMA brothers and sisters? Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk MMA. Crazy morning. It's been pretty busy. So obviously we have the big event, UFC 246, this Saturday. So it obviously makes sense for me to preview it. I'm gonna talk to you about some fights that excite me, certain people that if you don't know, you should know, get excited for. Certain fights that I feel are important. That's always a good thing because it's almost like there's fights that happen at each event that, you know, it's not hyped and it's not talked about, but you have to figure these are the fights that the winner anyways, they're stacking up their career, stacking up their wins, and that leads to bigger and better things. So watching them now, you should be excited for. Now, again, I'm a hardcore MMA fan. If some of you guys are new to this, I try to keep that in mind. So I just kind of share it as my excitement and try to educate at the same time. Now, before we get started, I've been working out, if you guys remember last time. And I just wanted to let you, as a reminder for you guys, if there is a goal, there's something you want to achieve, it's the beginning of the year. Tomorrow could be the start of it. But it's the beginning of the year, great time to start something and stick with it. I feel great. I've been working out. I feel proud of myself, even more importantly. So for you guys, pick a goal. And if it helps you, put it in the comments. Let's talk about it and let's reach those goals, whatever those may be. So like I said, it was a crazy morning. I'm here and I figured I'm going to get assistance from UFC.com. We're going to go through the card. So let's head on over there. All right, so let me switch over to this screen. Make sure I'm out of your way. I put myself in the middle there. All right, so these are the prelims. This is where it's getting started now. Give me one moment because I want to give you guys, or I want to get into this this chat for a little bit after. All righty. Okay, so at the very beginning of this event, there's always going to be non-ranked fighters, right? So the thing about the non-ranked fighters, I feel, even myself, sometimes I'm like, I don't know, I don't care, don't pay that much attention. But at the same time, I usually watch these events from beginning to end. I just want to see fights, and if somebody does something special that sticks out, that's usually when I'm kind of paying attention now, and I try to see what they did before. So even though you might not know these people, I would say if you enjoy this sport, start watching these people, because what's really exciting is to see them progress, see where they're at skill wise now, and just see them go up the ranks, you know? So Sabino Masso and JJ Aldrich. Now JJ Aldrich I'm definitely more familiar with. This is at 125 pounds. Now let me show you guys this really quick, and I think I've mentioned this before. So right at the top at 125, we got women's flyweight champion Valentina Shevchenko. So the thing about this weight class is that Valentina is so experienced, so good, you know, to where even these top five, I don't see them doing anything. So it's I would say in this weight class, what's more exciting is fighting or looking for the next person that really would be the challenger for Valentina. That person could easily be ranked 15, or, you know, some of these newcomers, or are in the prelims like these girls here. Now, these girls obviously are very young. They still have a lot of experience, especially for who the champion is. But again, this is where everything is starting, so check them out. All right. Now, Brian Kelleher, I've seen him, Brian Boom Kelleher. I actually follow him on Instagram. He does YouTube. He does Instagram Live. So I would say a great mind. He was even on, what was that called? The MMA Beat before, and did a really good job. So I would say in the future, just commentating and breaking down fights and stuff is a skill of his. Now, he's tough. He hasn't had a fight in a while, but one of the last fights that I remember from him was Lineker while he was in UFC. And with Lineker, it was just one of these battles, you know, and that's where I was really impressed with Brian. Again, these guys start coming up, and then they get a name, and then it's all about can they beat that name? Brian did not beat him. So he wasn't able to kind of proceed from there. That was like his fight to win in order to really progress. So that slowed him down a bit, but I'm telling you, this guy is definitely good. Now, Ode Osborne, I don't know too much. He doesn't even have a picture, go figure. But either way, all of these are going to be good fights. You have to figure all the matchmakers are matching them up as even as possible. So you're always going to get good fights. And that's kind of my main point there. All right, let's keep going here. Now, Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott, ranked number 7 at flyweight, 125 pounds, versus Askarov. I would assume he's Russian, so maybe a wrestling base. So that just excites me because check this out. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. Tim Elliott versus Demetrius Johnson. So Tim Elliott went through the Ultimate Fighter, won, and then got an opportunity to fight Demetrius Johnson. Now, early on, he was doing some scrambles and he did some amazing stuff, but Demetrius just being a step ahead for the rest of the rounds. Obviously, it just kind of became one-sided, but Tim Elliott fought his butt off. He showed a lot of ground skills. He just showed a lot of energy in the weight class. So that should just be an exciting fight. More than likely, it could be a lot of action on the ground, which I would love to see. I would love to see it. All right, right up here, this is the last fight of the early prelims. Let me switch over just to make sure you guys can see it all right. All right, cool. I just want to make sure I'm not in the way. Okay, so Justin Ledet, I remember seeing him a while ago, and what really impressed me with Justin was his boxing. You could really tell that he has a boxing base, and he's been adding the kicks, adding the grappling, and that kind of thing. Now, this is at light heavyweight, so grappling is definitely important, but if you got some heavy hands, you could do some damage. So, I think, I don't know the exact percentage, but he's about a 50-50 in the UFC. He's had some wins. Johnny Walker knocked him out. But the thing with Johnny Walker, he's unpredictable. He hits hard. He's big. So I would really like to see Justin Ledet just continue on, which this fight obviously shows that he is. So I'm excited to see him. I'm not too familiar with Alexa Kimura. He looks like a freaking younger, muscle-bound kind of guy. So, hey, this is light heavyweight. We got some big boys. Going to be fun. All right. So, let's get to the prelims. We're starting to heat it up. Let's start at the bottom, though. So, don't know too much about Chas Skelly or Grant Dawson, so I'll leave that at that. Drew Dober. Oh, dude, it's funny because when I hear Dober, think of Doberman, but he's a forward-pushing, tough fighter. Nasrat, I don't even know how to pronounce that, but Nasrat, I've seen him as well. That's one of these fights that they're going to start trying to break in to the top 15, top 10. So at lightweight, again, John Jones needs, if he's going to stay in that weight class, he needs a star would be nice, or just someone who's tearing through people. Obviously, Dominic Reyes, I almost said Dominic Cruz. Dominic Reyes is that guy right now, so that's always cool. But we still need to churn the weight classes, right? The division. So we got to keep it moving. All right, I'm gonna go on these two right here and slow it down a second. So Andre Fili, it's crazy, and let's take a look at this. Andre Fili is been around. Now he's had some losses, so he is just trying to get it into that top rank of the division. But at featherweight, let's take a quick look-see of what's it look like. So 145, obviously we got our champion Alexander now. So we got Ryan Hall, jiu-jitsu master. We got Shane Burgos, well-rounded all-around fighter. Josh Emmett from Alpha Male, and he's got knockout power, short, stocky, strong. We got Jose Aldo still in the mix, apparently. Jeremy Stevens. So look, this is just a list of killers, okay? So these two guys, still young, but Andre Fili will crack. I was there in Sacramento. I was so happy. That was one of my favorite fights because he looked amazing. Sadiq Youssef, another young man with amazing strength, just athletic ability. So these are two young killers that are going to get into a pool full of killers. So 145 is definitely exciting. It's one of those things, like for me, since I follow it and I've seen a lot of these fighters, I get excited, right? And if anything, that's what I try to do with these is just share my excitement and tell you why. Because if you don't know these guys because they're not big stars or whatever, or maybe you just, you didn't see the prelims and you don't really know what they got or anything like that, well, I'm here to tell you, a lot of these guys at 145 are super exciting. And these guys that aren't even ranked, youngins, are also very exciting. So look out for that fight. It is going to be a banger for sure. They always say with cards like, oh, with this one, oh, it's just really the main card. No, this isn't like boxing, in my opinion, because in boxing you do have the big header, and then you have a bunch of fighters you don't really know much about, and it's hard to follow boxing, in my opinion, at least especially for me. In UFC, yes, maybe it's not stacked with a bunch of stars per se, a lot of people that you recognize, but there's all these up-and-comers that are great fighters. So if you like fighting, and or even if you're just getting into it, start watching these prelims, because not only is it them coming up or following somebody you may like, they might say something on their post fight that you're like, oh man, I really like their attitude or whatever. And this next fight that I'm talking about is a perfect example. So we got Roxanne Modafferi, ranked at number 7, and we have Maycee Barber at number 9. So Maycee Barber came into the UFC with a splash. She's been knocking out her opponents. She goes in there, gets after it. All right. Now, Roxanne Modafferi, I would say, even though she's still fairly young, I would say she's a bit of a veteran in the sport. She's gone through the Ultimate Fighter. She's gone through Invicta. She's been gotten wins in the UFC. So let's take a look at this. Let's head over to, what was it? 125, right? So women's flyweight. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Am I on your way? Let me check. Move out of the way. Uno segundo. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so Maycee Barber at number 9 and Roxanne at number 7. So let's scroll up so we can see champion. So Maycee Barber, I'm telling you right now, truly has, at a minimum, will be breaking that top 5, if anything, after this win. Not only has she gained a lot of hype for herself, not only does she have the knockout killer instinct, which is exciting for fans, this is what's made her popular quick, but she's even been calling out Paige Van Zandt just because she knows Paige Van Zandt has got a huge following and wants to take that following just by beating her. And Paige Van Zandt has got like one fight left. I think she's probably just going to fight it out, go to Bellator, who knows. But that would have been so good. So either way, what I'm saying is this. Roxanne Modafferi, her stand-up is not that great. I would say that's where she's going to get a lot of trouble, but she could take a shot. I'll give her that. She could take a shot. But her real magic is on the ground. Now, I believe Maycee, she trains with Chael, so her ground game looks like it's definitely solid. So I really would like to see what we see on the ground, right? But head-to-head, this is where I'm going to start making my picks. Maycee Barber, with the aggression that she has, maybe not knockout power, but she hits hard, and she just wants it so badly. Roxanne, I feel... you see it a lot in her fights. She kind of gets a little weary. She really tries to be smart. But I don't think she hits that hard that's going to affect Maycee. So I just really see Maycee taking over. It's going to be more people or more recognition over Roxanne's following, for example. And just crack into that top 5 where she can fight these Joanne Calderwoods, the Jessica Eyes, Caitlin Chukagian's about to get a title shot. So there's not a lot to look forward to exactly with this weight class, but there's definitely a lot of juice within the rankings. And hey, we'll see who really stands out, and they'll get a shot at the champion. All right, let's get to the main card. I don't know how excited you guys are, but I'm freaking so excited. I'm like trying to keep my cool overall, but man, it's going to be good. All right, let's, okay. Anthony Pettis, Diego Ferreira. So Diego Ferreira, shout out to my boy MMA Games and Fighting on Instagram. He had a huge channel on Instagram before the purge, and there were certain fighters that he really was loyal to. Diego is one of them. So he's been following him for early on. He's the one that really exposed him to me, and his last fight that he had, it really deserves this chance right here. So this is at lightweight. So let's just take a look at the rankings again. What's on the line? What happens to the winner? You know, do they move up? Are they getting closer to the title? That is what it's all about. Not only for them, but us as fans. That's why these guys are fighting to move up these exact rankings that we're taking a look at. All right, so we were at, what was it? Oh yeah, lightweight. So at lightweight, one more down. Of course, we got Khabib undefeated. I can't wait for Khabib Tony, baby. Can't wait. Let's see here. So let's look at this. Look, we got Charles Oliveira, Gregor Gillespie, Anthony Pettis. They have him at 11. That's interesting. That's what it was, right? No, they had him at 9. Either way, you know how they do. So what that tells me, actually, because look, Anthony Pettis is 11 right here. And on the same website, UFC.com, number 9 over here. So all that tells me is this. Anthony's really been, I don't want to say use the word used, but utilized for his name. So obviously they made the big one with Nate, you know, or with Wonder Boy, and that's why he's been bouncing around the whole 170, 155. I feel that Pettis, when he just focuses on the belt, it's just too much. I think he's really just enjoying the fighting, keeping busy, all this kind of stuff. So he's giving Diego this opportunity because Diego's dangerous. Diego could truly win this, and by them putting number 9 right by Anthony Pettis, that tells me if Diego wins this fight, he's going to crack that top 10. And let's see who's in the top 10 of 155. We got Edson Barbosa, we got Ella Quinta, Kevin Lee. So you're going to tell me that upon Diego beating, because he's not ranked yet, but upon Diego winning, he's going to get up in this top 10, and all of these are names. All of these are names. Dude, all the way, I mean, Alexander Hernandez, he's still young, but that's a name. Islam Makhachev, that's a name. This whole freaking ranking is a freaking name. So getting Diego in there, that's what this fight is all about. So we'll see if he could do it. But if not, Anthony Pettis cements him still as a top lightweight, and that's always a benefit to him. All right, the ladies here. Am I in your guys' way? Yes, I am. Here, let me move me. Hold on. All right, so Claudia Gadelha, I've always been a good fan of hers because I've loved her. She's always just been like a takedown, grounded pound, and just really tough fighter. Alexa Grasso from Mexico. Now she has an elegance to her fighting, to where her stand up is clean, crisp. The boxing is what's beautiful. And what's interesting is Claudia being more of the grappling side of things. That's why she wasn't really able to beat Joanna. She then kind of started focusing on her stand-up. I believe in her last fight, she even said she just wanted to stand up. It wasn't about finishing. She just wanted to stand up for as long as she can to get the experience. But Alexa's definitely, in my opinion, going to be a step ahead of this on the stand-up. Now, on the other side, though, Claudia is strong, real strong. So Claudia taking it to the ground, we can see more of Alexa on the ground, but Alexa's well-rounded. I just really feel that Claudia is going to have the strength and is going to need to push it to a grappling fight. Alexa is going to have that elegant kind of just smart, just overall smart, pump the jab, keep her at a distance, and keep moving. So I really like this fight. Now, let's take a look at the rankings a little bit. So we got Alexa Grasso. Joy, what is up? I'm almost done with these, and we're going to get to the live chat. So number 11 and number 6, Claudia. Let's take a look at that. So that's at 115. Here are the ladies. All right, so obviously we got Zhang Wei Li at the top. Joanna is number 4. Look at that. That's very interesting. But we got some names. We got Jessica Andrade, obviously going to go against Rose soon. Great fight. Tatiana Suarez injured right now. Joanna. Nina, I don't even know if she's going to fight anymore. But there you go. We got Claudia at number 6. and Alexa at number 11. So you would figure whoever, especially Alexa's really got the one to gain the most here. I would love to see her versus a Joanna, or maybe not Rose yet, but I mean, that's what we're doing here. A Michelle Watterson, maybe. So Alexa has a true opportunity here because Claudia has fought some of these names, especially the champion twice. So when you've fought a lot of these, you don't have the fresh matchups, which makes it a little bit harder to get fights. But if she wins, hey, they don't have a choice. She's going to either stay there or definitely start moving up in this area, start fighting one of these girls. So pretty big deal. Number 11 seems like a lot, but hey, number 11, Alexa, is getting the opportunity to fight Claudia at number 6. And if she wins, that's where Alexa jumps up. So very exciting for her. Now, Maurice Green, I don't know much about him, but this is at heavyweight. So we got some heavy hitters. That's always fun. Now, Alexei Oleinik, I'm pretty certain he's the one that, yeah, I'm positive. He's the one that does I forget the choke, but a choke that's very uncommon, but he keeps getting away with it over and over. Wouldn't even be surprised if he did it again. But either way, a heavyweight fight, always nice. These definitely are guys at the bottom, but if you'll notice on the main card of a lot of fights, they always try to throw in a heavyweight bout. Why? Because a lot of people can understand big guys, big punching, possible knockouts. And so, you got a female fight, which, a lot of females don't get the knockouts, don't get the finishes. So they're just trying to mix it up and make it exciting for the main card for the people that pay the bucks. All right, here's the top 2. Whoo! Holly Holm, number 3, Raquel Pennington. Now, this is for women's bantamweight. This is even more interesting because 135 pounds is interesting because we got a very, very dominant champion in Amanda Nunes. Am I blocking you? No, I'm not. Okay. So, Jermaine Durandamy, she got her other opportunity. Made me upset because she didn't really do what I was hoping she would. Aspen Ladd, definitely, she got knocked out by Jermaine. So, that doesn't really mean everything. But Aspen, I think, still has some to prove. I'm actually surprised she's at number 2 here. Holly Holm, number 3. And Julian Pena hasn't even came back yet. I'm surprised she's still there as well. But I figure she's coming back soon. And Raquel at 5. So here's the thing. Holly got kicked and knocked out by Amanda not too long ago. Raquel, last year, 5-round war, or they stopped it. I forget what it was, but that's where she got beat so bad that a lot of people were saying that her corner should have stopped it. So upon winning, what do they get? What do they get? They're not going to get another shot at Amanda. Like, they just had one and they didn't do that well, right? So what I'm figuring is the 135, a lot of churning needs to happen. So let me just throw this really quick. Irene Aldana, you better remember that name because Irene Aldana has been busy. She's young. She's tall and long. Great stand-up. Great movement. I think she's not ready for Amanda, in my opinion, but this is the girl you're going to start seeing with these names, and Irene is going to need to get through to get to the champ. So she's one. Caitlin Vieira, these girls just fought. Irene knocked her out, actually. But Caitlin Vieira is also a beast. So she's another one that's coming up. Marianne Renaud, she's getting to the tail end of her career, but she's still got it. And I feel like, obviously she's going to try to make it a run. Sarah McMahon, I haven't seen her in a long time, but if she could take down her way up to these ranks, that'd be great. But as you can see, there's not a ton of possibilities at this weight class. So this particular fight, it's almost just for fun to keep these girls busy. Maybe if they do something spectacular, maybe they can churn that. They're never too far away from giving Holly Holm another crack at the title. So who knows? You never know, right? Okay, let's take a quick breather now. Conor McGregor versus Donald Cerrone, the main event. Oh, and let me actually really quick, because I wasn't doing my job. I was doing a little bit breakdowns, but I wasn't doing picks. I think Diego is going to be my pick. I truly feel he's got the strength. He hits hard. I think he can do it. Anthony Pettis is going to be a heck of a fighter to stop. or finish or even just beat round after round. But I think Diego's got the forward motion to take rounds, and I think he can do it. With Claudia and Alexa, I think she really is. Hopefully she's only gotten stronger because she's still just young. So hopefully she's just stronger because those skills that I saw last time, whoo, boy. Keep an eye on her. And if she can get through Claudia, that's a heck of a feather to her cap. I'm going with Alexa. I really don't know these guys, but I just figure Alexi is actually pretty damn good on the ground. So I feel like he might just get a submission. But I don't know Maurice, so I can't really foresee that. But if I was going to make a pick, I guess it goes to the guy that I know and is able to finish. Holly Holm and Raquel Pennington is going to be great. I really think this is going to be a good fight. But I just feel Holly Holm, I feel like this is going to mainly stay on the feet. Holly's great at keeping her distance. Holly's probably super hungry to get a win under her belt because she lost the opportunity of the belt. Raquel's been out a while, but I mean, she's a fighter. But I'm going to still edge out Holly Holm. I just think her stand-up, her reach, her understanding of what's going on, and I feel like her ground game continues to improve. I got Holly. Cool. All right, who else jumped in? Leanne, what is up? I'm about to get to you guys, and I just want to get through the main card. And now, I won't spend too much time. We've been talking about this a lot. I know. But, sorry, did I mess that up? Hold on a second. Here we go. Does that look good to you guys? Yes. I just want to make sure I'm out of the way. My whole camera. Okay. Breakdown and pick. And for you guys, if you guys can do the other fights or whichever one you're excited for, give me a pick, jot it down so we can talk about it afterwards. But for sure, give me a pick for the main event, which is obviously Conor McGregor and Donald Cerrone. Okay. I'm going to try to do this so that I don't get too outwinded here. I'm going to try to do this in a pros and cons, like what each fighter needs to do to win. And then I'm going to give you my pick that I pretty much already have. So let's start with Conor. Now, with Conor, and ultimately it looks like both of these guys are correct in the mind, correct in the way that they trained. So I feel like we're at least going to get the best versions of each of them. It's at 170, so they're not losing weight. Both of them have been at 155. So at the end of the day, they're not losing weight, but they also didn't have to do a lot of cardio to up their cardio when they go to 155. This is the one thing, this is a quick little thing to keep, like, education-wise, that you guys should keep in mind. If you looked at Nate Diaz at I'm going to say his last fight at 155 was versus Michael Johnson. When you have to get to the lower weight class, you have to do more running, you have to do more cardio because you have to keep at a lower weight so that when you go into fight week, you lose the remaining pounds, make weight, right? When you're at a heavier weight, so when Nate went and fought Conor at 170, you could see he wasn't as shredded. He didn't have to do as much cardio. He didn't have to do all of this extra because the weight wasn't an issue. So why I'm saying this is both of these guys are almost on an even playing field, but Donald Cerrone has been at 170 before many times. So I would say he has the benefit there. But let's talk about the fight. Conor McGregor has a wide stance and is amazing at keeping the distance. How does he do that? He kicks, whether it's a teep kick or a roundhouse kick, whatever he decides, he's kicking, pushing you off, right? Cerrone is definitely known to, kind of have like a tie stance, keep light on the front leg. And I just feel that Conor's going to keep that distance fairly easily. Okay. With that, he gets to play his game, which is he throws things, sees reactions, attacks, and so on and so forth. He's quick on not getting hit. He stays far away from not getting hit. And as long as he does his typical thing, which is exactly that, I think he has great takedown defense as well. So ultimately, I'm just going to let you know. My pick is Conor McGregor. I'm going to be rooting for Donald Cerrone. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to be rooting for Donald Cerrone. But Conor McGregor, just as much as I kept on thinking of the fight and how it would play out, I always kind of think of once the fight starts and they come out, what do I see? And what do I foresee? Donald Cerrone has a takedown, as in a way to take someone down. Maybe he has a couple others that we haven't seen, but I don't really feel that's going to be part of his game, even though it needs to be. So let me finish with Conor. So ultimately with Conor, he just needs to do what he always does. And I feel that he will catch Donald. Donald has been knocked out before. He's been hurt to the body before, finished to the body before. Conor's body work is also amazing good work. So I just feel like when it's on the stand-up, of course, there's going to be back and forth, but I feel if Conor is on point, what he does on the stand-up is just too much for most people, especially a style like Donald Cerrone where he just doesn't do a lot of movement. Cool? Donald Cerrone, what does he need to do to win? Now, I've talked about this on the last time, but ultimately this is what I foresee. Donald Cerrone needs to hit that front calf. It's the closest target that he has. Donald is great at kicking, but if you go back and watch his fights, he doesn't really do the low calf kick. It's not really something we've seen him do. Obviously, if he comes out and starts to do it, I think key number one, because you need to touch him. You need to slow down his movement, and hitting that calf, which is the closest target you could reach, that is key number one. So if he starts coming out and he's not doing that, is what I'm saying. 2, the takedown. Now, the takedown can't just be a shot out of nowhere. Conor, with his stance, it really needs to be kind of set up. That's why I kind of don't really see him being able to get it. But if he can close the distance somehow, clinch with him to where maybe he could trip him or something like that, or even just Muay Thai clinch, those type of things are tiring. If Conor is just able to throw his shots like he's hitting the bag, he can go 5 rounds all day long. He needs to be worked. So if Cerrone can take it against the cage, try to take him down, all these kind of things, that's what I foresee. So key number 2 is the takedown, which I don't think he does. He's going to do because he doesn't do it often. And I think that would be not a great thing to do. Final thing for Donald Cerrone, he needs to get it to the late rounds. No matter what, if he is able to get it into round 3 to 5, I believe that is where he can really start to turn it up. Conor's going to slow down, and I feel that somewhere in there he can try to throw those leg kicks. Those leg kicks will hurt, whether he blocks them or not. So if he invests in them early, great. It's only going to pay off later on. So as we go later to the fight, I really see Donald taking it over. But Conor is still a hard hitter. And if he can find Donald Cerrone's chin or body, I just think he takes it. So I'll leave it at that. Let's get to this right here. Hopefully that was a great little, hype train, right? But let's get to your comments here. All right, so Joy, what is up? What do you think of Conor getting $80 million for the fight? So what you need to at least consider, so I heard that he's getting paid $5 million for the fight itself. Like $5 million to show and do the fight. But he's going to have way more lucrative things in his contract. So not only pay-per-view, now pay-per-view is via ESPN Plus, and he even mentioned it in one of his interviews that he feels that, even when he said the 80 million, that it should, a lot of it should be more guaranteed. So his 80 million is based on stats. How many pay-per-views sold, how many whatever, Reebok, and maybe whatever little sponsors, this, that, and the other. So if we knew more of those details, it's not as outlandish as it seems, but 80 million still sounds like way more than he's probably going to get. I don't really know. It really just kind of depends. Again, he has probably the most lucrative contract, so it's not going to be just $5 million. Now with Cerrone, his is probably, I think he's going to get $2 million, and maybe he gets like the pay-per-view points and that kind of thing. So he's going to have his thing, but Conor, you better believe his contracts are tight. All right, let's see. Leanne. Hi, I rewatched Conor versus Khabib and was so shocked Herb Dean seemed to not see a lot of the cheating Conor did. Yes, it is very upsetting. Conor McGregor, honestly, probably did every single thing you could cheat with. Knee to the ground, grabbing the fence. What else did he do? Don't really remember, but I remember when I watched it, I'm like, dude, he's doing like everything you're not supposed to do, and you're not going to get a point removed. So that's very frustrating to see the ref not call these things, especially when they happen multiple times in a fight. Now, this sucks, but I really feel just 1 point or whatever. And here's the other thing: when Khabib is on top and he's still dominating, and that knee doesn't technically affect the ongoings. Like, let's say he kneed him and then he like rolled over or something like that. He would have probably done something. But because the knee happened or he grabbed the fence, but Khabib is still on top, I think mainly that is why he just lets it go. Because the defender of it, the Khabib in this case, he's still dominating. So don't stop the action, because that's really gonna mess up the Khabib. So I think that's a lot of it, but at the same time, these things need to get called out for sure. Diego, Anthony, Holly, Donald, I hope. Leanne, if you can, so the chat is perfect, but in order to keep great record, if you could, I don't know if it lets you do it after the fact, but after the fact, if you can come back to this video and type down those picks. But look at you, Diego, which was my pick. Wait a second. Diego, Anthony. Which Anthony? Anthony Pettis, Holly, and Donald. Which Diego are you talking about? Maybe I'm confused. Let's see. Donald versus Barbosa could be a great example of how I would like to see it go. Donald versus... Yeah. It's just that Barbosa, if anything, is so much more like Donald's style. They both kind of are heavy kickers. They don't move around too much. Their stances are fairly similar. So Conor truly does have a unique style. He has that karate stance, but he fights less like a Wonder Boy. But he's that karate stance he's got down, and he pops. I mean, the guy is freaking good. I don't like his antics. I don't like the things that he's done in the past. What I do like, because again, I'm older, he's young, he's gone through his life, and now it seems that he's owning up to his mistakes. So for me, it's like, not that he needs it, but it's like, I'll forgive anyone. It's all good if you're becoming a better person. And even just these interviews and coming up to this fight, it's entertaining, but I was never a big fan of him talking trash and all of that to his opponent. It just makes me want to go for the other guy. But in this fight, it's been a lot more chill. It sounds like he even, just as far as Khabib, it's going to be just more on the competition. And that's what I'm about. It's all about the fights. I know these guys are great fighters. I don't need all the extra. Sometimes it's cool if it's natural, but he always pushed it. He was always talking crap and blah, 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 blah. But hopefully now that he's at this level, maybe he doesn't really need all that, and he can kind of do it this way. Leanne, glove grabbing. Oh yeah, glove grabbing, which is yeah. That's why when he talks about Khabib is trembling or these type of things, it's like, dude, you just don't deserve another chance. And even if you did get another chance, probably the same thing's going to happen, and maybe worse. But if Conor can, let's say, beat Donald Cerrone, maybe even beats Gaethje, depending on what happens with Khabib and Ferguson, can you get through that? Like, if he gets through these names, mainly Gaethje, hey, man, I think you deserved it. And let's see Khabib too. But if Khabib don't want it, I don't know. I mean, Conor was one of the guys that, I've moved on. Like Aldo, he never got his rematch, right? Who knows? Maybe this is karma. Karma. All right, guys. Any other questions? Come on, go ahead and type it up, or else I'll go ahead and finish up. At the end of the day, this Saturday, we got UFC 2020 getting kicked off, and then I'm sure we're just going to, the snowball is going to keep going. This is, honestly, it's interesting that with Conor McGregor, this first event of the year, him talking about his season, him kind of being involved in 170, 155. What happens at this event is very important. Like, what happens here at this event will change the rest of the year. Truly. So you want to talk about stakes? Like, Conor has a lot riding on this. Donald, not so much. He's going to get his payday, and we're all going to love him, So I think Conor is going to have a lot of the pressure, but he always does good under pressure. So that's why, as much as I kept on thinking about it, the guy is just, he really is talented. His stand-up is truly one of the best, and it is what it is. It is what it is. So glad we have a UFC this weekend. It has been gone for so long. It has. It really has. But you know what? And Ariel says this stuff all the time. Sometimes it's probably good to get a few weeks break. This is a long break, but when it's every week, it's cool because I expect it. But at the same time, it's just, well, I kind of want to do something else on my Saturday sometimes. But me, I'm always up on Saturday. I'm watching these fights. I'm always getting it in. But hey, I need the knowledge up here so I can give it to you guys. So again, I love you guys. Please give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your other MMA brothers and sisters. Here, let me give you this as well, because the other thing that I want to kind of try to do a little bit more, I'm mainly on Instagram, Facebook as well. I don't have a Facebook up there, do I? But there is a Facebook page for Rated 101 where I'm connected with a lot of the fighters. So when they have fights, even Henry Corrales, I interviewed him a while ago, so I've always been following him. But on Instagram, is probably where I do a little more of the DMs and that kind of thing. I do more posts on there, that kind of thing. So give your boy a follow there. Again, tell all your MMA brothers and sisters. And until I'm going to do some reaction videos of this event. So until then, peace. And don't forget, comment your goals below. I want you guys to reach your goals, whatever that is. Let's get it. Peace.